In this video we are taking you inside Pacific Mall, the largest indoor Asian shopping mall in Canada and even in North America. Located in Markham, a city in the northeastern part of the Greater Toronto area, it is about 30 kilometers from downtown Toronto. From the outside it may look modest, but inside you'll find a bustling maze of small shops, snacks, a food court, entertainment and more, all under one roof. Even on a weekday the parking lot is nearly full, a clear sign that Pacific Mall stays lively throughout the week. It is open 7 days a week, including all public holidays. Parking can get especially difficult during weekends, public holidays, or when the Asian night market takes place in the parking lot of Pacific Mall, drawing even bigger crowds. When you enter Pacific Mall, it really feels like a maze, with row after row of shops, each offering something different. Here, we passed by a haircare store where we once bought some good Japanese shampoo a long time ago. Next, we passed by a jewelry shop filled with glimmering jade and gold, just steps away from the haircare store. That's the charm of Pacific Mall. You never know what kind of store you'll walk past next. In the same row, just a few steps away, there's a shop that sells clips, tiaras, and all kinds of pretty hair accessories. We bought quite a few cute hair clips here for our little niece who loved them, and the prices were much better than in most other stores outside of Pacific Mall. We kept walking toward the center of Pacific Mall, heading for the escalators to go to the second floor. At the center of the mall, there's a small stage area that sometimes hosts live performances and cultural events. It gets quite lively during Chinese holidays like Lunar New Year or the Mooncake Festival, with artists singing, dancing, and even lion dance performances. After taking a quick look around the stage area, we headed toward the elevators to make our way upstairs, where two of our favorite stores are located, and one spot that our little niece absolutely loves. Watch till the end to find out which ones they are. From the second floor, we looked down at the stage and the rows of shops below. Quiet, as expected for a weekday afternoon. Surprisingly, there were actually more people walking around on the second floor than on the main level, most likely heading to the food court. Next, we stopped by Ding Dong, one of our two favorite stores that we always visit when we come to Pacific Mall. It sells a wide range of snacks from various Asian countries such as Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, and China. This used to be a much smaller store on the main floor that mainly sold beef jerky, dried shrimp, dried squid, dried fruit, and even crunchy little whole crabs. Before the pandemic, you could point to a big jar of those savory snacks, and they would cut a small piece for you to taste. But since COVID, they've moved into a bigger space on the second floor, and now everything is pre-packaged, with no more tasting before buying. Next to that, we reached the chip aisle, packed with flavors you won't usually find in regular grocery stores. This is where we always end up grabbing a few bags, even if we said we were just here to browse. We usually go for chips from the Calbee brand. They're crispier and more flavorful than most. One of our favorites is the shrimp stick chips. Light, crunchy, and seriously addictive. Nearby, there was a full row of instant noodles in various types, such as cups, bowls, and packs. We once bought the Pokemon noodle cup for our nephew who loves Pokemon, but he didn't like the taste at all. Then came the candy section, full of bright colors, fun and cute packaging, and an extensive range of flavors and textures we've rarely seen anywhere else. We usually browse this section to pick out treats for our little niece and nephew, who love chewy candy, especially when it comes in cute packaging or features a favorite cartoon character. We also spotted a row of Poppin' Cookin', fun Japanese kits, where kids can handcraft their own candy into all kinds of shapes, like sushi, burgers, ice cream, and more. We've bought almost all of them for our niece and nephew. They love creating and eating their own candy creations. Continuing with the sweet snacks, this section is full of fun sweet treats, from crispy biscuits and burger-shaped cookies to Korean fish-shaped pastries in different flavors. There was also a considerable amount of Japanese chocolate in different flavors. We find the milk chocolate from the Meiji brand decent and enjoyable. And of course, rows of Pocky in every variety you can imagine. Matcha, cookies and cream, strawberry, and even some we've never seen before. There was also a wide selection of chocolate gummy from the Meiji brand, basically a soft gummy candy wrapped in a layer of chocolate. Between candy and chocolate, we definitely lean toward chocolate. Let us know in the comments, do you prefer candy or chocolate? Right after that, we came across a shelf mixing both sweet and savory, from Super Mario-themed candy and Skittles, to Japanese rice crackers and dried squid. It's one of those sections that always makes us pause, where candy sits right next to dried seafood. We often grab a few bags of dried squid in different flavors, a nice snack to chew on while watching movies. We also spotted the famous White Rabbit candy, a classic milky treat wrapped in that nostalgic edible rice paper. It has a creamy, chewy texture, with a mild sweetness that slowly melts as you eat it. A little further on, we came across a shelf full of collectible figurines, from anime classics like Sailor Moon, to other cute characters for fans to display or gift. It's the kind of spot that always draws in collectors, and anyone who grew up watching these shows. As we were heading to the cashier, we saw these adorable Hello Kitty boxes. We are not sure what is inside, but they would make such a cute little gift for kids. After Ding Dong Store, we passed by Unbox the Fun, a store filled with claw machines and arcade games. From the entrance, you immediately see the counter, where you can redeem prizes with the tickets you win from the arcade games. You first need to buy the Unbox the Fun card and load it with credits. Each arcade game requires a different number of credits to play. We used to go for one of the preset credit packages, which also came with bonus credits. First, we passed by the row of claw machines filled with plush toys and collectibles. We have never managed to claw anything at this store, but it is still fun to try. Next to the claw machines, we spotted a modern take on the classic Pac-Man, still just as fun and nostalgic as the retro version we grew up with. At first glance, this place seems to have more claw machines than arcade games. But with the arcade machines, you can actually win tickets. You just swipe the Unbox the Fun card to play, and the number of tickets you win from the arcade games is stored digitally on the card. Right after that, we noticed a claw machine with a twist. Instead of plush toys, you could claw for tickets to load onto your card. Just a few steps away, we found the motorcycle racing arcade, the kind where you actually sit on the bike and speed through different landscapes. It is one of those games that makes you feel like you are really riding. Next, we saw Grand Piano Keys, a rhythm game where you tap oversized keys to match the music. Then came Hot Wheels, a flashy racing arcade packed with fast cars and bright lights. We also passed by a mini bowling game, simple but surprisingly addictive. At the end of the row was a giant spinning wheel game where you can win a bundle of tickets if your timing is right. And finally, we noticed an arcade called Coconut Bash. But to this day, we still have no clue how to play it. Just a few steps away, we came across the Jurassic Park arcade, an immersive shooter where you sit inside and blast dinosaurs as they charge at you. It is loud, intense, and perfect for two players teaming up for a wild ride. As we were leaving, I remembered bringing my nieces and nephews here, back when there were more arcade games for younger kids. They loved it, always winning loads of tickets and trading them in for toys. As we were walking toward the food court area, we passed by a small stall selling handmade art and decorative water fountains. We like to pause here. There is something calming about watching the paintings while listening to the gentle sound of running water. We finally arrived at one of the mall's most iconic spots, a traditional Chinese-style gate and arched bridge. Walking through it always feels like stepping into another world. Just beyond the bridge is a section filled with eateries and the main food court area. The very first counter is our favorite Hong Kong Bubble Waffle spot called Tung Tung. Tung Tung serves the most traditional Hong Kong-style bubble waffles we have found in Toronto. You can choose from vanilla, chocolate, sesame, or our favorite pandan coconut. We usually order the pandan coconut flavor, and that is what we are having today, though we sometimes go with vanilla. We actually made a separate video called Top 3 Bubble Waffles in Toronto Best Hong Kong Street Food, where we compare 3 bubble waffle spots, including Tung Tung. The link is in the description below. Check it out to see our top picks and favorite flavors. They started by pouring in the pandan batter, and right away, we could smell that sweet pandan aroma. Then they added a spoonful of shredded coconut. We've noticed pandan and coconut are often paired together. The creamy, nutty coconut brings out the delicate floral notes in pandan. The staff slowly opened the waffle maker, then carefully detached the waffle. Then they tossed it onto the rack to cool and crisp up. This bubble waffle was crispy, fluffy, and just as good as the ones you would find in Hong Kong. We made our way to the food court, and as expected on a weekday, it was calm. On weekends or holidays, it gets so crowded you can barely walk, with long lines and people pushing through. That is why, if you plan to visit Pacific Mall, we would recommend coming on a weekday. Also, keep in mind, most stores here only accept cash. As we were heading back to the ground floor, this giant Transformer statue caught our eye. A bold reminder that this mall always has something quirky around the corner. Before leaving, we had to stop by Prezzo Tea, our favorite bubble tea spot in Pacific Mall. Prezzo Tea has many franchises, but we find this location makes the best bubble tea. We wrapped up with our favorite mango slush, sweet and refreshing. Pacific Mall may not be luxurious, and it can feel a bit chaotic at times, but it remains a rare blend of nostalgia and discovery. It is a reminder that the most hectic or humble places are often the most charming, and the most fun ways to spend a day.